ATMs across the country are set to be drained today in protest against the transition to a cashless society. Finance expert Heather Moore is here to give us her insight into this one. Welcome, Heather.
Hi, Monica.
It's been called Draw Out Some Cash Day. Some have even said it's almost like a voting day. Vote yes and withdraw. What impact will it have, do you think?
Well, I think the intention is to send a message, that there are a lot of people still that do not want to move to a completely cashless society, and that there is still a demand for cash out there. The concern, obviously, is that with the higher demand in one day, that the system will be drained of cash, and there may be people out there that really do rely on cash and don't have other means of payment, and that they will actually be left in a worse position because of today.
Banks are obviously reducing their physical presence. Hundreds of branches are shutting down, as we know. What is the future of banks as we know them now?
Yeah, well, no doubt there's evolution happening, and we have seen a lot of changes in the banks. I think, regardless of what happens with the cashless position, the kind of service levels in banks are certainly moving to a more online kind of format, less face-to-face and human service, and more kind of chatbot, AI-assisted service over the phone, perhaps. So there's no doubt that that's the way the model is moving. There will obviously always need to be banks there to provide credit, to keep the whole system moving. It's just the format of the delivery, I think, is certainly in a state of change.
Can you see society going cashless? What would it mean?
I mean, in theory, it's possible to envisage that, to envisage a completely cashless society. A lot of us there are high percentages of people who are low cash users, and even where people currently use cash, you can envisage that they could be using something like a prepaid EFTPOS card, even if they don't want to enter into credit card ownership and that kind of thing. So I don't think we're there yet, but it is possible to envisage that could be the future.
The RBA revealed last year that 72% of Australians were now classed as low cash users, which means only 20% are using physical money. What do you think is the attraction to cash?
Well, I have had people say to me that they find it easier to control their personal spending when they actually are using physical cash. It's a lot more tangible that you're spending that money when you're handing over those notes, rather than just a tap and go and forget, perhaps. So, there's the kind of spending. Then there's obviously the fees. So with credit cards and EFTPOS tap and go, there are fees that businesses are more and more passing on to the customer because they feel that they can't absorb those costs that the banks are charging to them. So people are kind of feeling that now and thinking about, well, maybe reverting back to cash could actually help them with their cost of living.
Those hidden fees. Heather, we appreciate your time today. Thanks.
Thanks.